Good afternoon, everybody, on this beautiful sunny day. Welcome to Bermuda, Rick. The Bermuda Olympic Association is extremely proud to partnership with the Gymnastics Federation in helping them with their development program. As the head of the organization, one of the things that we try to do is find ways and means through our Olympic Solidarity program how we can assist our associations with development of youth, athletes, coaches, and administrators. But what I'd like to do, who can give you the more specifics of our program, is hand you over to Julia Hawley, who is our funding officer for the IOC programs, and she can be a little bit more explicit as to how this funding is going to work. Julia?
Thank you, Judy, and welcome, Rick. Yes, we've worked quite hard getting this program up and running. This is a first program for Bermuda, the development of a national sports structure for gymnastics. And an international expert from Canada has come to Bermuda to deliver this program for Bermuda Gymnastics. And Rick has been, I think he's done this in quite a few jurisdictions throughout the world. This is his second visit in the program. And I'll hand off to Tim Miller, actually, who is our president of the Bermuda Gymnastics Association. Tim?
Thank you, Julia. Just a quick note to say that certainly from the Bermuda Gymnastics perspective, we're extremely excited by the opportunity that the IOC has granted us to bring down an international expert on gymnastics. Certainly for us, it's certainly about raising the bar in our sport, and certainly with Rick here, we're able to do that. Certainly from the BGA's perspective, it's about raising the bar across the island and very much encompassing all of the sports ultimately. I mean, at the end of the day, gymnastics is the mother of all sports, and as we can grow gymnastics, it's going to benefit all of the sports in Bermuda. Certainly working with Adriana, our head coach here, who's been instrumental in working with Julia at the BOA and getting the IOC involved and giving us this grant to bring Rick down. Certainly the objectives that we're looking at, it is all about raising the bar within our sport, and hopefully this will have a long-term benefit for all sports across the island. Adriana, do you want to have a quick word?
Sure, thank you. I think that we're just extremely pleased to have an opportunity to, like Tim said, is to increase awareness and education about the sport of gymnastics and about youth development and active living. It's great for us to be able to share this opportunity to bring down such an expert that has a vast knowledge and has worked around the world to try and encourage participation within sport and specifically gymnastics. So we really look forward to visiting some of our local schools and clubs to just share the knowledge that Rick has brought to the island. So Rick, I'd love for you to just kind of let Bermuda know a little bit about yourself.
And what you're doing.
Thank you, and thank you, Bermuda. I'm the international expert. I have been to 70 different nations, but it's thrilling to finally get the chance to come to Bermuda, so I'm so happy that the Olympic Association was able to arrange this, and thrilled to be here. And as Tim said, we'll call it best practice, and we're looking at best practice for all aspects of gymnastics across Bermuda. So that's from the rec centers, schools, the after-school clubs, and the private clubs. So as we feel, all children need to run, gym, swim. That's the basics. All children must do those three, and ours is a youth sport. We also have a lot of women in sport. So we're really unique in that we involve so many girls and get them off to a good start in health and fitness for life. So that said, we have many, many projects on the go. We're going to be all over Bermuda, and I couldn't be happier.
What do you specialize in? Does gymnastics have different disciplines?
Yeah, very good question, very astute question. The sport of gymnastics has 5 different disciplines, and we're concentrating first on artistic gymnastics. That's the one we see on television, the balance beam and the rings, and that is by far the most popular. It's one of the 3 top Olympic sports, top-tier Olympic sports now. But we have these other sports under development here in Bermuda, including rhythmic gymnastics, which is in the Olympics. Trampoline sport, we're working really hard to bring to Bermuda. And there are some other disciplines that we'll add over the years. My own specialty is in artistic gymnastics, and I worked with male and female athletes that did qualify to the Olympics over my too long career. And we'd like to do exactly the same in Bermuda to bring kids up to the international level.
How much emphasis is put on the quality of which it takes to qualify for Bermuda competes in four major festivals, which are the Commonwealth Games, the Pan Am Games, CAC, and the Olympics. What is the quality level that we need to get our youngsters at a young age to understand what it takes to get to that level?
Well, great question. And for me, number one for Bermuda and for Canada, I have to say, is Commonwealth Games. Now, we had a full women's team in 2006. And now the sport has evolved. It's much more difficult than it was in 2006. But I think it's very realistic for Bermuda to be at all those events, including Olympics. But I think our focus will be Youth Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, Pan Am Games first as a stepping stone to eventual Olympic qualification, as we've seen from Dominican Republic. I mean, some small nations are participating in the Olympics now, and the IOC and the International Gymnastics Federation, they want the small nations participating at the highest level. So we want to take advantage of their support and be the one there on the floor in one of the future Olympics.
Based on some of the athletes you've observed during your visit here, how would you rate our future?
Oh, excellent question too, because it's such a youth sport. So, for example, Adriana is taking 3 of our top girls to a training camp in Peru. They're departing tomorrow. How will those girls look in that international training camp? I think they're going to look quite strong. They have good basics. I think they're going to be well prepared. And so I think we're in the middle of the pack, is to answer your question. We're not going to look bad. That's important. I don't think you want to go internationally and look bad. You have to look, look at Bermuda. They're looking good. They've got potential. Now, after that, we yesterday met and we looked at all the different age categories, right down to age 8, age 7, age 6, and look at that Olympic cycles into the future. I think some of the youngest kids look very good, age 8 and 9 years old. They have great prospects. As you know, there's a lot of sport talent in Bermuda. It's got a mixed ethnicity. That's always good for sport. We get the best qualities from all the different peoples that live here. So I'm really excited for the future.
Absolutely. I think that since I've been on island, I've seen a mentality shift in the athletes. So they're a lot more focused to working on their excellence. So there's a level of accountability that they're now taking on that maybe wasn't as focused on beforehand. Also, some of the events that they weren't as developed on, we find now that they're asking every day to go to those events. So we've seen a shift in their enthusiasm and efforts towards being an all-around athlete and trying to make sure that them as an individual, that they're being a bit more accountable towards their practice. So I think the future in Bermuda looks great, and I think, like the reason Rick is here, we want to educate. So the more we educate them, the more opportunities they would like to have, and the more we will work hard to make sure they have those opportunities.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I just wanted to actually make one final comment that I just wanted to thank Adriana and Bermuda Gymnastics. This is the first time that the Bermuda Olympic Association has actually applied for this grant under the IOC. And we're very excited that we've had this opportunity for a national governing body to take advantage of this grant, and we look forward to other opportunities with other national governing bodies as well.
Hear, hear.
So thank you. Yeah.
I wouldn't say in the near future, but certainly midterm, absolutely. At the end of the day, we are committed to growing the sport and growing the sport at the elite level. And in part, this is why we've got Rick here. Certainly for me, the BGA is twofold, where we're very much looking at youth development. And within that, it is about raising that bar, and Rick is helping us on that aspect. Because as I said, I want to grow the base. I want the BGA to attract both young girls as well as young men into our programs, and then from there hoping that we will then have future Olympians, certainly Pan Am, Commonwealth participants. I mean, one of the challenges, if you look at a Simone Biles and the fact that she was training 30 to 40 hours a week, for us to get to that level, we've got to create a culture and a standard. And certainly Rick is the first step in that process of creating that culture. So short term, I don't think so. Mid-term to long term, absolutely. And certainly the BJA is committed to growing our sport island-wide so that we can have a Simone Biles representing us at a future Olympics.
One of the things is the improving the Olympic Solidarity Program. This is just the beginning for us. I do believe, with what I've seen with the 2017-2020 IOC Olympic Scholarship Program or Solidarity programs, I think this showing what we can do for gymnastics will bode well for showing what we can do for other national governing bodies as well. Tim is right. It is a process. We need to work together. We recognize that. I think, as you well know, we have our elections this Thursday, and hopefully, all being well, that I will be re-elected as president. There will be some interesting things to give to. I know you want to ask me now, but I'm not going to jump the gun. But I think the next quadrennial for sport in Bermuda is going to be truly exciting, not just for athletes, but for coaches and administrators. And I'm excited for what this will hold for us.